So in this part of the theory, we're going to refer and explain the Om, the Pranava Om. So you will find in some texts that it's written with the AUM, or others it's written with the OM. So when you hear or just is referred in these three letters, AUM, is more referred to the primordial sound of the universe. So this is the sound that contains the creation, the preservation, and the destruction of the universe and the constant flow of life and of existence. And the OM is referred to the big void, let's say, to the ultimate reality. We can call it God. You can call it Brahman, God, but pretty much ultimately, in ultimate levels, not in relative levels, they really mean the same. So when we chant the Om by itself, we chant it in these three letters. Aum. And ideally, we want to feel the A in the belly, the U in the chest, and the M in the head. So this will be a transportation of the vibration from the base of the spine all the way to the crown. So it attunes us to the complete subtle body and to the coherence with body, mind, and spirit. So it's very beautiful if we also start to understand the symbol of the Om, because in my opinion, it summarizes the entire yoga philosophy in one symbol. You might see that this symbol, the symbol of the Om, is composed of three curves, let's say like that. So this first curve represents the awakened state, the conscious state, how I am right now talking to you. And this other curve, it's more like a circle, but it's not closed, you see it's open. So it's also an open sphere. It's representing the dream state. When we have dreams, it's like a bridge between the unconscious and the awakened state. And then we have another state of the mind that is the deep sleep state. In the deep sleep state, there is no content. We don't have consciousness about time, space, body, mind. So pretty much it's very similar of the experience of samadhi or enlightenment, because it's the awareness without content. So if you see, in our regular daily life, 24/7, we experience this fluctuation between the awakened state, dream state, and deep sleep state. What is happening is sometimes we might not reach the deep sleep state because we are not relaxed enough, we are not surrendering enough to life, so we might just fluctuate between these two, and we lose the experience of the complete relaxation or surrender that represents this deep sleep state. Then we have another open core that is representing what we call in Sanskrit Maya. Maya means illusion. Illusion of what? The illusion of me identifying with the idea of myself instead of what I truly am. So it's that illusion of the sense of separation or the sense of duality. When I identify myself with that idea, with that ego, with that persona, I lost myself in the way. And then I suffer all my identification, my attachments, my resistances, and then I cannot feel completely free. So this is the veil of ignorance, let's say like that, that represents, if you remove this, if I erase it, you will see that the veil is gone. And in all the scriptures, this veil of ignorance is referred as Maya, because I cannot see clearly my true nature. And then we finally have this dot on the top that represents Samadhi. Samadhi means nirvana, enlightenment, awakening. When I finally experience my true nature in my daily life, beyond the body and beyond the mind, because the mind and the body are just a vehicle. So another important thing to understand about the Om is that the Om usually has a lot of benefits. It's the main of the source of all the other mantras. And also mantra comes from two words in Sanskrit. Man, which comes from the word mind, and tra, to control. So it's the control of the mind. So when we chant mantras, it's just a sense of surrendering and also igniting an intention as we chant to what we're chanting about. So when the mantra is chanted without form, is usually called Nirguna mantra. When the mantra is chanted with form, it's called Saguna mantra. So we have also different types of mantra. For example, the Gayatri mantra is devoting that intention to the goddess Gayatri, to the divine solar energy. So that will be a Saguna mantra. But the Om is not referring to any form, any deity. So it will be a Nirguna mantra. Another important thing to refer to the mantra, why we chant the mantras in the first place, because they have so many beneficial effects that we will require the entire course to talk about them. So an important effect of the mantra is that it allows us to come back to the present. If we're really attuned to the chanting experience, we're chanting, let's say like that in ing, we're completely committed to that experience and we are not in the past or in the future. And usually in our daily life, we're very trapped in the past, in the future. So that's a moment when we come out of this trap of what is not real and just arriving and embodying the complete experience as we do it. Another important benefit is also the stimulation of the vagus nerve. And by that stimulation of the vagus nerve, we also activate the parasympathetic nervous system. And at the same time, a lot of scientific research right now, thank God that we have all of that support to understand how many benefits this chanting has, also suppresses a lot of inflammations in the body and start to slow the blood pressure. So if you have high blood pressure, it will help you with that. Also relieves insomnia, also helps with the body to stay in complete homeostasis. It raises the vibration of the body. It cleanses the sinuses. So we have infinite benefits of chanting the Om. But the primordial one is to connect with that main sound that sustains the entire existence to our true nature, to bring coherence and alignment to our subtle body, because all our cells in our body will respond to that coherence and that proper alignment when we chant the mantras. Another important thing, if the Om is followed by another mantra, instead of chanting AUM, as I showed you before, we will chant Om. Om Bur Bur Bhasvaha, for example, if the Om is preceding the Gayatri mantra, or if the Om is preceding a secondary mantra like Om Shanti Shanti. So we only chant AUM when we chant the Om by itself. But with the Om, if the Om is just introducing a secondary mantra, only we say OM, like OM, and Om to begin, Om to end it. And usually when we end a mantra, we usually say Om Shanti Shanti. Shanti represents peace. Is for the body, mind, and spirit. We chant it 3 times to represent all the Trinity. So all the Trinities are represented through the Om. For example, past, present, future, conscious state, dream states, deep sleep state, the gunas, the doshas. We have a lot of Trinities that are represented through the Om. And that is another thing to take into account, because we will find in the philosophy of yoga several and infinite trinities to represent this dimension that is manifested. We have a base, this form of a triangle, and then 2 sides up. That form of the triangle, that trinity, represents manifestation. So we are in the 3-dimensional, you say, state. So in that case, also that embodiment of the mantra itself is representing that by the 3 letters. And that is important also to recognize that. So I invite you to chant every day a little bit. It's important not how much time we stay, but how often we do it, at least on my perspective. So you can do it with your japa mala, or you can do it just with the intention. And the important thing is to feel the vibration and to really surrender to what you're doing at that moment and not to think in any things, so you can receive all the benefits of chanting the mantra. So yes, let's give the welcome of the Om into our lives. So as I mentioned before, when we use the japa mala, this is the japa mala. We try to hold it in the alignment of the heart. We never drop it down. And ideally, we try not to touch it with the index finger. That's why I am elevating this finger outside. And we usually move breath through breath using the thumb and sliding the mala through the middle finger. We do it like that until we reach the other side. Then we have an extra bed. You see this little bond of hair. And also we have an extra bed. This is called the Guru bed. It represents the ultimate reality, the entire existence. So as a sign of respect and bowing down to that true nature of ourselves, we never touch that. But don't worry, if you don't have a japa mala, you can still count 108 in a very easy way by using your own hands. So ideally, we have 3 knuckles, if you see, in each finger. So we use the thumb to count the knuckles. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in one hand. If I finish this round, I have 9 already counts. Then I have 1 round down and count this in the other hand. So 1. When I reach these 9 rounds with one hand, I will have 12 plus 9. And that will be 108. So the important hint is just to have 9 rounds counted in this hand, and this other hand will count how many rounds. When I arrive to this middle finger, to the last knuckle, I'm done. And then you have a complete 108 counts of mantra chanting. And that's the way that you can practice it if you like it. So I invite you to try it.